Oh, this is so great. Yeah.
And I took that one-way ticket, never looked back, and it was the best decision of my life. Hugh Hefner calls one day and was like, "Hi, this is Hugh Hefner. Would you like to move into the Playboy Mansion and be one of my girlfriends?" I was like, "Wait, what?"
How did he find you?
While I was living with this boy in San Diego, I did this photo shoot, and this photographer sent my photo into the Playboy Mansion and to the Playboy, and I had no idea. And next thing you know, I get this call. The rumor was that Hef walked by and there was only one photo left out of this pile of photos, and it was mine. And he walked by and he picks it up and he says, "Who's this girl?" That was the story on his end. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. You know, for me, amazing. And it was healthy for me. It was happy for me. I was safe. You know, it's taboo to the world because they don't really know what really, went on there. And my perspective is only one party every few months, and the rest was like, okay, we all had sex with Hugh Hefner once a week. That's the taboo, is that we had sex with a 7-8-year-old.
Did it feel like a transaction in order to be in that environment?
It definitely felt like a transaction, but I was willing to take it. I was 18. I took that one-way ticket, never looked back, and it was the best decision of my life. It was a heavenly experience for me. Like, there couldn't have been a better experience. And, there's two things that can be right. Like, people are like, how can you say that when you have a daughter or whatever? What would you tell your daughter or whatever? And I'm sitting here like, two things can be right. I had to do what I had to do. I had to survive. I was in a survival mode. I chose what I chose. I made the choice to move into the Playboy Mansion, have for money with Hugh Hefner, and I actually lived an amazing 5 years of my life.
Ladies, anybody want to comment on this? Zoe, you're making points.
I mean, in this day and age, I was listening to this and I was like, okay, so you had to have sex with this man to live in this big mansion with him and all the other bunnies and shit. But in this day and age, you can have sex with one man once a year and have your own mansion.
Are you talking about Sugar Baby, or are you talking about OF?
You got to go out there and fuck him for a good amount of money to get your own mansion. Why are you fucking Hugh Hefner?
Okay.
Why are you fucking Hugh Hefner?
Anybody else have anything to say about this?
She's full of shit.
Okay.
I know that.
Wait, hold on. Genesis, go ahead.
Go find the right man.
Come on. Genesis, go ahead.
I know an OF girl who's Sophie Rain. She's making at least $45 million a year.
Yeah.
And she's never met any of her sugar daddies.
Yes. Sometimes that happens.
Necessarily.
Yes, and that's because she looks like she's under 18, and a lot of these men are basically pedophiles.
Yeah. She manipulates them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't manipulate them. I don't even think I won't even call it manipulate. She persuades them for sure.
She's definitely not 18.
Yes, she is.
No, she's definitely 18. She just the reason why she does so well is she because a lot of those OF creators at the Bop House in Miami, they wear braces to make themselves look prepubescent, and that. Because
I also heard that they fake it.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
I hear that they don't actually have sex on their OnlyFans.
Yeah.
No, of course. Yeah, Sophie Rain, of course. Everyone knows
There's
Sophie Rain.
different markets for OnlyFans girls, and those
Yeah.
girls, they look younger, and there's a lot of weird people in this world who like that kind of stuff. That's not my market. I would never feed that kind of market. Yeah. But if she wants to do that, let her get her karma. But you know,
you want to feed into that debauchery and into that
debauchery. What are you talking about?
You're talking about coconut kid. Oh, coconut.
Yeah, I wouldn't feed into that for
Every
sure.
girl has their own niche. You got to find your niche.
Okay.
Whatever's gonna sell content.
The underage and the younger looking stuff, you want to feed into that with your personal brand?
I wouldn't feed into that.
Well, I'm not making.
But the other girl that she was mentioning does.
Sophie Rain.
It's on you.
Right. It's on Sophie Rain.
Goes back to the.
We're talking about Sophie Rain.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good person, and I make a lot of people happy. I just recently met a fan when I was in New York. He's like, I haven't had sex in 3 years. I've been watching your movies, and it really helped me. And I'm really excited to meet you. And we had the best time. I really actually like this guy now, and he was super successful. He has a big house in the city.
Oh, you like this guy?
Yeah, he was actually a
cool,
cool
shit.
guy.
Oh.
He a fan.
He a fan. I'll upgrade him a little bit.
Honestly,
upgrade.
We do get to have great fans, and some of them do want to take care of us, and and they're actually great people, and then it becomes a friendship, and then it can become more.
Got it. Oh, well, let's go back to the whole Kendra thing. So Kendra, one of the problems that Holly Madison has is that Kendra Wilkinson had the exact same experience she did. Now, Holly was the main girlfriend. That is definitely different. But Kendra does not say I was a victim. Kendra does not say I was abused.
I did. That.
Yeah, what I did was, in her estimation, she says was healthy. But my point is, I don't think that it was healthy. But I also don't think that she gets to claim that she's a victim now when she's famous. And by the way, Kendra Wilkinson was hotter than Holly Madison. Kendra Wilkinson was the hottest girl in the world to me in like 05, 06. In the whole world. She was the hottest girl I'd ever seen.
I think she's playing her cards right.
Huh?
I think she's playing her cards right.
I met her at the Playboy Mansion like the year before Hef died. And I was like, even in her like late 30s after 3 kids, she was the hottest girl I had ever seen in my life.
All right, Jed, go.
No, I mean she's full of shit, honestly. I mean, listen, it's great that she's not blaming somebody else and she's not playing the victim, but she looks traumatized.
Literally,
she has not had an easy life after that. She went through hell. She's talking first saying, "Oh, I had the best time ever at the Playboy Mansion." Then 5 seconds later, she says, "I was in survival mode."
She was in survival mode before she went.
Exactly.
No, she said I did what I had to do to survive. She was referring to going
She
out.
wasn't doing it because that's what she wanted.
She was in survival mode before, and she did it to survive. There's a complete difference.
Point is,
I don't think what we're saying is survival mode.
Yeah.
I think what's happened is she went from a $100K lifestyle to a $100 million lifestyle, and once you're up there, you don't want to come back down. And
but Mike,
if you came back down, then you don't survive.
Mike, does she look healthy and happy to you? Does she look stable and healthy and happy and like this experience was good for her?
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I've seen way worse than this, but yeah, I see your point.
I mean, her message, and it's the same message as, and listen, with all due respect to everyone on the panel, I understand you're all career women, but the message should not be do this stuff, sell your body, make money off of being, half naked with a whole bunch of strange men, go to the Playboy Mansion. That should not be the message to young women. That's not a good message. I don't care how much money you're making.
Society.
This is not about money. This is about your self-respect and your dignity at the end of the day. And that's why so many girls who do this line of work, you see Lily Phillips, you see all the porn stars, they're crying at the end of the day. So many of them are destroyed on the inside. You want to talk about trauma? This is how it happens. So instead of that message, she should say, hey, listen, you know what? It brought me a lot of money. That's great. But it also broke the hell out of me in a lot of ways.
Do you realize that the reason why that is because one, society, and two, men don't take care of women like they used to?
Men don't take care of women like they used to.
Yeah,
they don't.
I mean, but the other problem is the earning. But the earning potential for women outside of porn is exponentially higher than it was from the 1970s. Again, college degrees.
Let women get the little
college degrees.
Men have become more women-like than women nowadays, and now they want to be the little pretties in the kitchen, doing whatever, doing nothing, and half the time they don't even do that. They want to do nothing, not have a job, not cook, not clean.
That's not true.
They want their women to come home and with the money and cook and clean too.
That's the type of
you're
man.
Picking the wrong dudes.
That's the type of man.
I agree with Jed.
That's the type of man that you're attracting because you're
that's
also.
Why I don't talk to men like that.
But but you're also saying in the same breath that if a real man, a guy came to you and said, I want to be with you. I want to respect you. I want to take care of you, but you got to stop spreading it for everybody else. You wouldn't give it to that man. So you're attracting these wimpy, simpy, nothing guys because that's who's going to put up with your line of work, to be completely honest with you.
No. Here's the thing. No.
That is it. No masculine guy.
Men in the industry and other industries that do not care that I go and
Jessica,
do what my job is.
You're agreeing with her actually because the guys in the industry are also putting themselves in maybe not putting themselves in a situation, but you aren't going to get monogamy from them either.
No,
monogamous is different when you're in the industry. It's a different kind of monogamy.
Okay, regardless, they're still going to have non-contextual sexual intercourse with multiple women.
I don't expect someone who's not in the industry to understand, and that is that's fine. That's fine. What
you're saying is I'm getting a high-status man who will sleep with other men. Sleep with other women. And other men. I mean, real talk.
I know gay men. I know they're men too.
No, but the
I'm
point.
sorry,
The
fluid.
point.
I'm sorry. The word is fluid.
Fluid.
Fluid. I get a high status fluid man.
But the point that's being made is that men aren't taking care of women. And the guys that are taking care of women aren't going to be dating someone who's doing OF work. That's the bottom line. They're not interested in that. So that's what I'm saying. You're attracting the kind of guys that you're right about because they're okay with you going and sleeping with other guys.
Camila's been having a boyfriend since high school, and he literally,
She also
she's a
doesn't
bop.
fuck on camera.
Yeah.
She doesn't fuck on camera. So like it's a little difference. And she's also like associated with Sophie Rain, which is like the biggest fucking, you know.
Upper echelon.
Yeah.
I mean,
and real talk, Camila's fucking hilarious.
I love her.
Hilarious.
I love her.
While I agree with what you're saying, Jed, I don't think Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, or Annie Knight are really good examples here because they are laughing and crying and giving you whatever emotional high they possibly can, all the way to the fucking bank. Yeah. Because
but wasn't there that
every time they do this, it's every time they go out there and I don't know up the number again. All it is just more publicity. The reason I say that is because Bonnie Blue got arrested today for some.
Shut up!
For,
I did not know that.
Like, for getting the guy who was underage, like one of the guys was underage.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, she's disgusting.
What guy?
But I don't know.
Moral
Number 64. I'm not really sure.
No,
but they're
aesthetic. That's idiotic.
It's hilarious. That was a rookie mistake.
Here's the thing. It's like they showed the video.
Guys, stop talking while he's talking.
They showed the video of her being marched out in handcuffs and put into the cop car or whatever, and I'm like, I believe none of this.
No,
I believe nothing.
I honestly don't. I think it's a stunt. They paid for
that's
that
exactly
to happen.
what they
There's
do.
fake cops that are in LA all the time, you know, like the influencer cops.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what put Lily Phillips on the map was she did that quote unquote documentary that she paid for, so she could sort of like weep a little bit on camera. And what happened? You got Michael Knowles, you got Matt Walsh, you got all the usual suspects from Daily Wire who just wanted to pile on oh, poor girl, see, this is what pornography does to you. And you know what? She played them like fucking puppets.
So it was
exactly what she was trying to do.
It was later debunked. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
The police car was.
Let me ask Rolo.
Debunked?
Yeah, it was debunked.
Rolo, so are you suggesting that those women aren't broken by their behavior?
I think eventually they will be, but right now they're laughing. They're very good at playing the game. They're very good at manipulating social media.
So then they're not.
They'll be the first ones to admit it too.
So here's I understand where you're coming from, Jedediah. So like from us, we kind of like look at the world from a socioeconomic standpoint, whether or not someone's broken or not. Like you're right. She probably is. She probably is broken.
She absolutely is.
Right. But the way we look at things on the show, because we're both pretty libertarian, is that like Bonnie Blue isn't the problem, and Lily Phillips isn't the problem. The problem is 1,000 men wanted to have sex with them. That is crazy. If you're guy number 776
with little snow masks
and you're
on
sitting
too.
there waiting to have sex with this woman, you go in there and it smells like sex. It's like disgusting.
Those women are business women.
No, I'm not talking.
No,
for the second time, I didn't say they were the problem.
No, I know. I'm just adding to what you're saying.
The problem is that we live in a society where 1,000 men would be willing to stand there for free and have sex with this girl. And these aren't porn stars. And here's the craziest part. I'll bet you 700 or 800 of them, she's the hottest girl they'll ever be with.
Okay, for the Bonnie Blue thing at the Bop House, those were porn stars. I know most of every single one that was in that in the queue.
Wait, she did that at the Bop House, or she did that with?
It wasn't the 1,000 one. It was 100. The gangbang. All of them. All yes.
No,
all,
I don't think they did. I don't think Bop House.
They did, babe.
They did.
It was in LA.
No.
Yeah, it was in
Keep
LA.
that girl out.
It was at the Bop House, and it was with Camila and what's her name, the blonde one. Yeah.
She flew Julia
Yeah.
to LA. It wasn't in Miami.
Either way. I know most
to get all those guys to Miami. Like,
there's no way, but the Bop House.
I know most of those men that were on there, and I see all these comments on TikTok being like, "Oh, who's that guy? Who's that guy?" And blah blah blah. They're like, "This is this guy," and I'm like, "Actually, I'm friends with him, and it's actually this guy and this guy and this guy
Right,
and
but
this
there
guy."
aren't 1,000 working porn stars.
No, it's not the
Like,
1,000 one.
there aren't 1,000 working studio porn stars in Los Angeles right now. Period.
It wasn't the 1,000. It wasn't the 1,000
I bet there aren't.
one.
I bet there aren't 1,000
Men or
women.
women?
It was a
I'm not
different
including
gangbang.
guys who f their girlfriends on OF. There aren't 1,000 working studio porn stars right now in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
like the whole city.
That are like active.
Yes, there are not 1,000
a
right
couple
now.
of my guy friends there too.
Exactly.
It was like all the top industry guys that
It
are
was.
like just shooting now.
And
They did,
it's
like,
so
a mini
funny because
gangbang.
one of them was like my
But I
friend.
was really proud of her because she actually took real. Because I was like, oh, this bitch is taking these little fucking small guys that they don't ever fuck. I was like, because I was mad at her because she was just taking these small guys who never fuck. They were like one pump chumps.
Yes.
Why does that matter?
It does.
And because those guys are bigger.
Jedediah, I'm so proud of her.
So
I'm so proud
real
of her.
Slut.
And not only that,
sluts,
you know what she's gonna do with this money? She's gonna take all of this money and she's going to make something else. She's gonna make a whole different business with it.
One more time. While I understand what
She's
you're saying,
she's going to get into real estate.
Trying to save Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips
not
is
gonna
not
happen.
the issue.
No.
The issue is whoever these men were. Like after any of them, I wish I could have like almost prophetized to them, discipled to them, like in Christianity. Like, brother, let's try another way. 1,000 of you are waiting to have sex with this girl. Come on, something's broken.
Yeah, but
up
Mike,
here.
you're looking at it from the perspective of these guys being losers, right? I mean, that's what you're talking about, socioeconomic. But what I'm saying is, be honest now. Would you take any woman seriously who had sex with other men on camera? Just a simple yes or no. Ever?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
Wait, what do you mean by seriously? You mean
would you
marry?
seriously would you put a ring on it? Would you bring her home to mom?
Okay, so
would you
I just want a
things?
definition of what you're saying is serious.
Yeah, that's serious to me. Marriage, children, a real future. So my perspective as a female is, I have heard since I'm sitting here, a lot of girls say, this is work, it's different. This is work, it's different. And what I'm trying to tell these women is it's not different to the men that they're ultimately going to want to attract in 10 years because those guys are not going to want any part of it. Now, you say you want to date someone only in the industry, maybe you're different because you're going to go for a niche. But a lot of women wake up out of this OnlyFans nightmare that some of y'all are in, and they say, you know what, I want a traditional man. I don't want to do this anymore. And that traditional man is not going to be able to unsee all this crap. So I try to shake women because it's destructive to them long term and they don't see it. So I'm looking at it from that perspective more than, okay, they made money, they're going to start a business. Great, you made money, you're going to start a business. You're broken, you're shattered, you've got trauma, and no guy that you would ever seriously want to marry is going to take you seriously. That's a problem.
I promise you, my trauma is beyond this. Ever since I started porn, no one has ever given me trauma when I'm in porn.
No, Judge, I agree with you 100%. I think you're right.
And I don't care what men think, to be honest. I really don't. If they don't want to be with
that. I believe that you. I believe that you don't.
You may be a unique.
I 100% believe you that you don't care what men think.
I'm just saying, men sheep. Like you guys, like you guys fuck anything.
That is the ultimate trump card. Discussion over.
Yeah, they do.
Men
I don't care about men's
sheep.
opinion.
I like this girl.
We have been taken.
We're now going to be friends.
You know who you should have on the show, Mike?